While we can argue about whether everything is conscious in one way or another, everything seems to have the almost obvious ability to process raw data into concrete information, from the smallest particle to gravity itself. That's why everything reacts to everything and why things obey the laws of physics in the first place. This process, which is called universal creative attention, as opposed to ordinary distinctive attention, is not just the essence or the explanation for every interaction. It's the essence of the actual presence of all parts of reality. As Carlo Rovelli said, reality isn't made out of things, it is made out of interactions, and not between things because there are no things, but between fields of raw data which collide with each other or mirror each other until a thing has emerged. The universe does not exist, it is only present. And presence is always a subjective answer to a very specific question. A measurement, if you like. I can exist without being present in a specific place, but I can be present only wherever my presence is sought after. Presence is the relative information in answer to the interaction between raw pieces of data measuring each other. It's the same as the collapse of a superposition into a position. And in a way, it demonstrates how local reality emerges from non-local reality. And if indeed there are no things, only interactions, then the issue with free will, for example, isn't whether it's free or not. It's whether there's a will in the first place. Because a will is a wish to navigate between things. When I'm standing at a crossroad, the real question isn't whether I can choose my path freely. It's whether the paths are at all separate from each other, separate from me. So, unlike Leibniz, who said about his monades that they don't have windows, this new approach suggests that there is nothing but windows. There is nothing but interactions. And unlike Kant, who said that we have no access to objective reality because every examination of it has to pass through the subjective, the new approach suggests that if indeed there are no things, then the interesting question is what is a subject? To whom belongs the gaze upon the objective? Maybe the objective is the actual phenomenon, and it's the subjective which we can never have access to, because the subject is, well, subject to never-ending interactions, hence change. Another interesting question is, if we already know that local reality is, in the best case, only a part of reality, and in the worst case, it's simply an illusion, how is it possible that it has such rigid laws? If the non-local reality, such as quantum entanglement, is devoid of cause and effect as we understand them in relation to time and space, then how can it be that in the material world, things consistently obey the strict laws of physics to the point where we can predict their behavior in advance? And the answer to this would be that we need to remember that local reality is just glasses, a filter. And the essence of this filter is reduction, thinning, limitation. And the tool through which this reduction is made is language. A name is a very limiting thing, and when things are limited, we can attribute to them similar properties and behaviors. Under the word plant, we can include both time and a baobab tree. They are, of course, essentially different from one another when we step outside the limitation of this word. But when they are subject to it, they are very similar and behave the same way. And precisely for this reason, matter behaves predictably in the world, because this world is the truth. It is a creation of language that has made it limited and constrained. Yes, language was not created in the world. Language created the world. Not necessarily verbal language, but that same mechanism of turning abstract data into concrete information. Attention. Read all about this in the new book. Attention, the atom of consciousness. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble and more.